Now we're recording and the camera's on?
Is this our test or is this...
Oh, man. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
This is what, 8-Bit Podcast, I believe 14. I think it's been a little while, and I'm sorry about that, folks. Looking right in the camera.
Sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah, it's been, we've been meaning well, but I think we've been trying to get a lot of other things going on with just actual client work, and I feel like we say this, we have to apologize every other episode for this, but
yeah,
I think we'll try and get better at this again. But today was going to be a very, very special edition of the podcast. We had great hopes that we would have a guest, a very famous guest, also known as
me?
Yeah,
Marcus Lemonis.
Marcus Lemonis, which for those that do not know who that is, he has his own show called The Prophet on CNBC, and he basically, he's a gazillionaire, right?
And that's the real number.
Gazillions, yeah. But basically, the premise of the show is he goes in and saves businesses that he willing to invest his money in.
Was he coming here to save us?
Well, no. I guess I should bring that up. He actually. So I don't know if again another thing you may or may not know is Gander Mountain, which is a Minnesota-based retail chain of. There's one right here in town actually. I think they went out of business,
they went
bankrupt or whatever, and Marcus actually bought the rights to them, I think, through a bankruptcy auction, and he's in the process of closing some stores and liquidating stuff and blah blah blah. But anyways, he's now changing it to Gander Outdoors.
That's true,
right?
He also owns Camping World.
Oh yeah, and what's the boating place?
Overton's,
yeah. Among other things. Long story longer, I know, right? He and the reason why we thought he might be here today. So he on Twitter, probably about 6 weeks ago. Probably been that long already.
Sure. Yeah.
He decided to do a logo contest, which we are anti-logo contest.
Very anti-logo contest.
Any kind of crowdsourcing, crowdfunding just seems kind of...
For design services.
For design services, at least. Not the way to go, especially when you're talking about a large retail chain like this. It just, at first, we were like, what is going on here? However, the more we kind of saw what was going on and what he was doing, he was actually he put in some pretty significant money, unlike most crowdfunding things you see. Mm-hmm. And this is why we're talking about this today, because it just seemed pertinent to what was going on in our lives the last couple of weeks and preparing for today, because he was going to basically pick a logo and surprise the winner, which he did, and we thought it might be us, because we did actually, after the fact, decided that because he was putting up $100,000 for this logo and eventual maybe brand identity, we thought, let's have some fun with this. Mm-hmm. So, how many did we put in? We put in
5 or 6 logos.
Yeah.
And I think you're the one that started down the journey, and I told you I didn't want to do it at all. And then I saw what you were doing; it looked fun, and I realized, hey, there is a good prize for this. And he had prizes for the top 100 logos. And I thought, you know what, do this on my own time, and it could be a fun process, and who knows what it could lead to down the road.
Yeah, if it would have been like $5,000, big deal. If it would have been $1,000, obviously $1,000 not worth it. $100K is probably more in the ballpark for that size of company. So then it was kind of like, well, you're still basically, the thing you have to go into something like this understanding. And again, I know we kind of went against our normal, because we're totally against that. And there was not a lot, but there was a couple pretty key people. Looked like they had some followings that also threw up a little arms to this and said, This is not what you should be doing. But when you got a gazillion dollars, like Marcus does, I think you make your own rules. And actually, in the long run and looking back, there was some things that I think could have been done better with the contest.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think overall the what he got for the if you count in the $1,000 for the top 99, and today we found out the top 4 of the top 5 got $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
So what's he all in here? Like $220,000 or something.
Yeah. Yep.
All in $220,000, and he got over 5,000 submissions of logos. Granted, I will say now after the fact, it was pretty funny watching some of it, and not to sound elitist about it, but there was a lot of people that maybe had no business necessarily presenting a logo, but it was a contest again, and it was kind of cool because it was all inclusive of people from every walk of life to at least give their go at it, whether it was done well or not. I think it was kind of cool. Again, you have to kind of take yourself out of the designer realm and say this is a contest, and it might be more about subjectivity than about objectivity, because there wasn't necessarily a lot of guidelines for what he was looking for, because I don't think he knew what he was looking for. Mm-hmm. But again, back to what he got out of this thing. I mean, we had 6 weeks of people consistently submitting stuff to hashtag Gander Outdoors or Gander Outdoors logo, the Gander Outdoors Twitter and Facebook feeds, and Marcus Lemonis at Marcus Lemonis on Twitter. There was just consistent social chatter, people excited, people asking questions, people submitting ideas. Mm-hmm. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more engaging social campaign that this ended up being.
Yeah, that was huge for him. In the middle of it too was, everybody asking, are they going to be closing certain stores? Are they going to keep them open? All that. So yeah. I think the logo part of it kept everything positive, where he might have been getting some pushback on some other issues going on at the same time. But it was fun. I think, did we expect to have him show up today? No. I mean, no, but we felt like why not? It wasn't like a lottery where you get a random lottery ticket. I mean, we are professionals in the industry, and we put out a couple logos. Did we spend as much time as if he had hired us directly or spent as much thought? Absolutely not.
Right.
So that's part of the crowdsourcing thing too that we didn't like is, you would spend a lot more time and effort and energy, research, all that kind of stuff. But in the long run, it was fun. It got the blood pumping a little bit, watching it.
The last 2 days were crazy here, preparing for today, of the possibility that, because, so real quick, we did not even get in the top 100, which, okay, so be it. I will say there was a few that I had some major eyebrows, I won't lie, from me.
Yeah.
But again, it's a contest, and, Marcus said he was picking it, which I'm sure he did have final say, but I'm sure he had a team of people that probably gave him counsel on their thoughts about it. There was a lot of similar type ones in the top 100, I felt. Different basic variations on each other.
Let's talk about the winner for a second. So I think going in the last couple of days, and especially a couple of weeks, Jeff and I kept saying that, okay, as long as the winner is an actual designer or firm or agency or some kind that can take this to the next level for them, and knows what they're doing, creating the logo. And one of my things I wanted is I had hoped it would be a nice, simple logo for them, because there was a lot of busy ones out there that I didn't think worked. And he picked a very simple logo, and it was from an actual designer. So props to him. We both actually liked the version that they chose, and had been watching it for a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Thinking that...
it was definitely one that I think we both had pointed out a couple times when we were scrolling through, because every day that, I should say June 10th was the deadline. There was about 3 weeks of where you could submit, and after the 10th you couldn't submit anymore. But after the fact, people would post their stuff just to kind of keep it fresh in everyone's mind and stuff. So it was still a consistent engagement there. I would add, to your point about as long as it's a designer and whatever. Again, we don't want to sound elitist because people. I mean, everyone has ideas. It doesn't mean that because you're not an artist you can't have an idea or a opinion about something. But with this whole thing though, with a lot of stuff that again, people had their own ideas, and some were, you could tell they weren't designers. Others you could tell were designers. To win $100,000 in this profession and to go to school for as long as we did, and the experience that we have, I feel like we've kind of earned our stripes over the past 15, 20 years. And, so you kind of hope that when you come from the background that we do, that at least if it's a legitimate designer, that's what they do. It'd be like some other profession. If I was just trying to be a carpenter in a carpentry contest, just because I have a good idea, I guess to me, I would kind of hope a full-on tradesman or person that does it for a living would hopefully win.
A carpentry contest, huh?
I don't know. I just was trying to think of something quick that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Let me take that another direction too, that we knew that from previous tweets and information he had set out there is he was probably going to continue to work on with several of the people that were in the finalists for the logo. So we knew that whoever won would probably continue to work with him. And so I guess I personally didn't want to see it happen where somebody didn't have any idea what they were doing and then just, well, here's the logo, and then that was the end of it. So so good for him. And we saw that he had offered a job too from Marcus today. Yep. So
it was a little bit suspect because everyone was wondering, because all along they were saying, well, we're going to just show up to someone's door, knock on the door, and get the reaction, which they kind of did, but it seemed a little suspect today because it seemed a little bit prepared, which I guess you could show up an hour before and still be prepared. So I shouldn't make it sound like
that's true.
Like they knew a 2, 3, 4, or 5 a week advance type of thing that they were winning. But it did kind of come off that way a little bit. But who knows? There's probably some smoke and mirrors that we're not going to be let in on. So
Magic TV, right?
Magic of
Live.
Facebook Live.
Hey, can we throw our logos on somewhere so people can see them?
We definitely should post those. I mean, again, like to Phil's point, we had fun with it. We try to do it in our spare time, which we mostly did, outside of our normal hours, if you will. I know we shared a lot of sketches with each other and ideas we had, and post them out there. And I think I feel like they were decent directions. Maybe they weren't polished, again, because we didn't want to spend too much time on it.
Sure.
After the fact, maybe we should have if we truly wanted it. But again, kind of set some parameters for ourselves, and I think we stuck to those. And I'm glad we did.
I have no regrets with it. I would say that to me, the $100,000 obviously would be nice for the business, and we could do some good stuff with that. But I think to me, it was more of the exposure, not only to general public or people that might not know about us, but more so the opportunity to possibly work with him on all of his other businesses and things. That's what I was really excited about, and some more of the PR part of it.
PR piece, yeah.
Obviously, the $100,000 check would have been nice to do some cool business stuff with that we have ideas on. But
yeah. It's it is what it is. It was kind of fun. I will say too, there was definitely, you're gonna have it regardless. This is the internet. You had a lot of haters still along in the process.
Yeah. At
times, I think even we kind of made comments amongst ourselves, and won't repeat them, but I mean just about how things were kind of going, and because there were so many people involved, there was a lot of, at least it seemed like, I don't want to call it plagiarism, but at times there were some very, very similar ideas, and people even calling people out on there. They got a little nasty about it, and it's like, well, no, because I've seen that similar kind of iteration even before this contest even happened, and it actually came out of the woodworks a couple times. And so I found it kind of interesting and also sad at the same time that people think that their ideas are always the most original ideas, and I mean, we even had one ourselves that we put out a day before, and the next day another one came out that was almost identical. Yeah. And of course you want to say, oh, they stole it, but that's not, knowing what it takes to go into something like that. Could they have? Yeah. Did they? Because it was a day later? Probably not.
Well, I think you and I wanted to trust the process.
Trust the process.
That's a big Marcus saying. But to say that, well, if he sees both of these, or the team sees both of these logos, they'll know that we submitted a day early.
Right.
In fact, we were made aware of it by another Twitter person, a tweeter. What do you call him? Twitter user? A tweeter? Another tweeter.
Jen, what do you think? Tweeter or Twitter? Twitter user?
A Twitterer.
Twitterer?
One of those people, he actually posted to us saying, hey, look at this guy. He ripped off your logo. And we decided to stay quiet and not say anything, so we trust the process. But I will say that I brought it into Illustrator or Photoshop, and I overlaid it. And, I mean, it would be a pretty tough, pretty incredible accident to get the actual angles and dimensions.
Almost identical.
100% identical on it. The font was different, but everything else was...
But then remember too, we did look at that guy's profile and some of his other sites and stuff. And he looks like a legit designer, so I would hope that he wouldn't, look like he did it for as a profession. So
I don't know.
But who knows?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's easy. I just found it funny that some people wouldn't take the time to kind of take a time out before they started accusing other people of ripping other people off. And sometimes they were like kind of similar, but really they were different, and just because they had a mountain in it, like 4,000 other logos,
right?
All of a sudden they were ripping each other out. It was kind of weird, but
going back to the way Marcus benefited from this, I think even today when we knew what the countdown was going to be, we knew at noon today, our time, that they were going to present the winner. So when he's tweeting out that he just landed and it's 30 minutes away from the contest, I think the internet about exploded because they were all excited. Everybody was hoping it was in their hometown, or he had people, well, crap, I live more than 30 minutes from an airport, so it's not me.
Right,
I'm
right.
out.
We were like, ooh, we're within 30 minutes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I won't lie to you. We look out the window just in case, because, again, he was really tight-lipped about, just gave you the basics, so we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So... all in all, it was fun, and the guy that won, I think he deserved it. I mean, it was a nice design. It was clean. I think it was thought out pretty well. Yeah. So
he was pretty humble and quiet in his acceptance,
which is cool. Yeah.
It works.
So yeah, what was it? Benton Design out in Denver, Colorado, I believe.
Are you giving him a plug over us?
Well,
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Nice job, bro.
Yeah.
He was in the same boat we were.
Yeah.
So.
What else going on? Any?
Outside of that, lately, just trying to keep up, man.
Grandma's Marathon.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Yeah.
Well, Bloody Mary bar.
We didn't run. If that's what you mean.
Well, I ran
to the liquor
store to get some stuff.
Yeah, we had the Bloody Mary bar, our third annual Bloody Mary bar here in an office. First time with the expanded space, so that was fun. That
was cool. It was nice just for people to be able to take it in the race if they wanted, with more space, and others that kind of want to converse could, and out in the other area of the office, which was cool. So that was nice. Yeah.
What did we have? About 5 people that popped in after they ran, even.
Yeah.
So came up for some post-race refreshments.
Yeah. So that was fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So another year, another Bloody Mary bar. So we got dartboard now.
Yeah, we got dartboard. So
it's more than paid for itself now in concepting.
Yep. Good concepting.
Yeah.
Thing.
We're getting pretty good at darts again.
Yeah, pretty good concepting too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So got that going. I don't know what else. God, yeah. Just summer's just flying by. It's almost July. That's part of it, between baseball and coaching baseball, and
I think we're all gonna
design and Marcus Lemonis, and
I think we're all gonna shut her down for a few days.
Yeah,
and take advantage of the 4th of July weekend, long weekend / start of the week maybe. And, I'm gonna go out in the middle of the woods, middle of the lake, and shut her down.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna drive around, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
So. But all right. Well, anything else? I mean, I think we hit it all. That's the quick synopsis.
Yeah.
Of the last 6 weeks?
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Do we know where we want to put the logos for people to see?
Well, I'll probably put it with the blog post for this. I think I'll put it there.
Perfect. What if they're subscribing through some kind of podcast, like through iTunes?
Yep, through iTunes you can hit us up. You can usually we share this also Instagram and stuff, so you can get the link through to the podcast, and obviously you can also listen to it on the blog. So
right. But if you are subscribing through iTunes, come back to our website and check out the logos if you'd like.
Yeah.
And sure, if you own a mountain resort or something that looks.
We've got some ideas.
We won't even charge you $100,000.
Just $99K. Yeah. So that's cool. So all right. Well, until next time, which hopefully will be a lot sooner than last time.
It will be.
Okay.
It will be.
All right. Then this is 8-Bit Podcast. Talk to you.
Bye-bye.